Good morning, everyone. As usual, I'm just going to give just 20, 30 seconds for everyone's computers to catch up. All right, great. Well, we'll get started here this morning. Thank you so much for joining us for another mindfulness moment with the Jana Marie Foundation. Always a thank you to Marissa for making these happen for us, especially for keeping these going each week as we've been experiencing all of this uncertainty. So it's nice to have a couple of things that are certain each week. So welcome, whether you are here live or whether you're watching this later. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that you wanted to take time out of your day for yourself to spend a little bit of some mindful moments just trying to find some stillness and peace. So this morning's meditation, I thought we would do something a little different than what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. Oftentimes when we're meditating, we spend a lot of time inward. A lot of people, when they hear the idea of meditation, it's all about coming in, right? It's all about focusing on the mind, focusing on the breath. Oh, my mom just tuned in. Hi, Mom. So we spend a lot of time coming inward. And that, although can be a really great channel for stillness, it can also be tiring. It can also feel exhausting, always coming inward. And so this meditation that I'd like to guide you through this morning is going to take us out. It's going to take us out of our mind, and this is what we call a sound meditation. Now, sound is really interesting. Some of you it might be your refrigerator, it might be your washing machine, maybe there's a clock, maybe there's some traffic going on outside. We're gonna see in a moment here what kind of sounds might be around you. And what this meditation is going to ask you to do is to explore some of those sounds. Now, for some of you, maybe it's silence. Maybe there's not some sound that you can hear, and that's okay too, because even silence is really interesting. So I'm going to guide you through this practice just for a couple of minutes, and again, we're going to move ourselves out of our mind into the world around us and seeing if we can allow our focus of attention to be with the world. So wherever you're sitting, however you're sitting, I invite you to get comfortable. Maybe you're already laying in your bed, so you're already comfortable. But whatever it is, allowing yourself to find some groundedness. For some, that might mean being able to put both of your feet on the floor. For some, maybe it's just shifting your body a little bit just to find that new place of comfort just for the next few minutes. And then taking a moment and checking in with our body, checking in with our shoulders, allowing those to fall toward the ground. And then maybe even just taking a few deep breaths, allowing the breath to almost be an anchor. So perhaps just taking one deep breath in, and as that breath comes in, really just imagining it being this anchor that is just planting you, grounding you right in this moment. So even just as I'm giving these little instructions here, just going ahead and just allowing a few deep breaths of freshness. For some of you, these are the biggest breaths that you've taken yet today. So just allow yourself to find a sense of stillness with those breaths. If it's comfortable for you, you can go ahead and close your eyes or just bring your gaze down to a spot that you can just simply rest your gaze on. And just see if you can just find this place of quietness within you. It's a little bit different for everyone, but seeing if you can take a moment, can you find that place of stillness in the body, in the mind? See if you can rest yourself there for a moment. And now that we're feeling a sense of groundedness, what I invite you to do is to now move your attention outside of the mind and body into the world around you and see if you can notice sound. It might be so subtle, but almost rather than trying to hear it, seeing if you can allow the sound to come to you. And I'm just going to give us some moments of silence now, and as I do, as you listen to this sound, I'd like you to see if you can imagine some qualities about it. Is there a rhythm? Is there a tone? Is there just a pacing? Can you ride the sound as if it's a wave? So let's just take a few moments of silence, seeing if you can catch either a sound or silence, and see if you can allow your mind to ride on that sound for just a few moments. And if you notice that your mind begins to wander, just gently bringing it back, almost using the sound to bring your mind back to it. Just gently allow this moment to be a chance to begin again. Perhaps you've noticed some new sounds appear, and just notice the novelty of those sounds. Perhaps it's a new bird outside, or just a new subtle noise that you might not even sure what it is, a car going by. Just notice what it's like to experience the novelty of new sounds coming to you. And now taking a moment and coming back into the body for a moment, seeing what you notice. Do you notice a renewed sense of stillness, of quietness? What was it like to take even just a few moments to be outside of the body, to take a break from the constant spinning that the mind often does? So just take a moment and check in with what does your body feel like right now. Even just taking a minute to be with the outside world rather than with our mind. Just notice what that's like, and also remind yourself that if you are feeling a sense of stillness, that it's always available to you. It was within you, and all we did was simply open it up a bit by allowing ourselves to experience the outside world. So now taking a moment and coming back to the breath, you might notice that even the breath is a bit steadier right now. Noticing how the breath is coming in and out of the body. And now just taking one big deep breath, wherever you're sitting right now, just breathe it in. Allowing it to fill your body up like a balloon. And then just allowing that freshness, breathing out anything that's not supporting you. And then bringing a little bit of movement back to the body, moving your shoulders, moving your toes, and just bringing yourself back into this space. It's amazing when you're learning to meditate. One thing that meditation teachers will often tell you is to remember that your breath is always with you, which is absolutely true. And sounds are always with you as well. Sounds and silence are always something else that you can tune into. So if you're learning to meditate for the first time and you're finding some difficulty focusing on the breath or on being with the mind, try flipping to sounds. Try just seeing if you can be with the novelty. You can be with the mind, and one form of meditation is just noticing what thoughts arise. But another way of doing it is to just notice what sounds arise on the outside. So if you notice that worked for you this morning, try coming back to that whenever you're in a moment of stress. See if you can just notice the smallest nuances of the sounds around you and the rhythms that they give. As I was thinking about this practice this morning, and I was thinking about even just a couple of weeks ago when I started doing these Facebook Live sessions, my hunch, and maybe some of you will agree, is that we've kind of entered into phase 2 of this pandemic self-quarantine. When this first happened, I think what happened is that all of us felt some adrenaline. Our stress response systems were kicked in. We were kind of riding on this fight or flight, and it was almost like social distancing and quarantining was like a mission that we were all on, right? We were like, okay, here we go. Home offices, I got this. Enormous amount of groceries. Kids are set up with homeschool, and you were almost just and you were riding, perhaps not even realizing that what you were riding on was this stress response system, this adrenaline of this fight or flight. And I was thinking about my own experience. My hunch is that we've now moved into phase 2, where just like after a long workout, you're now experiencing what I'm going to name as exhaustion. We're tired. Like now the adrenaline has worn off. We're starting to recognize that we're going to be in this for a little bit longer. And so what I wanted to do this morning is to name that, to normalize it. That if you're noticing that you feel like you've kind of moved into this new feeling that perhaps you haven't named yet, it's okay to name it tiredness. A couple weeks ago we named grief, but again now I think we've kind of moved into this state of, gosh, now I'm just tired. The adrenaline has worn off. And the reason why I wanted to name that for you, we have a phrase in meditation, feel it to heal it. Or sometimes people say name it to tame it. And I like those phrases because it's so true. Sometimes just naming them and allowing ourselves to feel them is enough to help our bodies begin to heal it. So whatever you might be experiencing right now, feel it to heal it. But along that tone, with that sense of tiredness, I wanted to read you a little post that one of my favorite accounts on Instagram to follow is the Nap Ministry, which showcases the need for us to rest and how much of a right that is. And so they recently posted this quote, and it said, "Let the trees and sky tell you a story. Detox from all news from one day. Find a window and stare out of it. Hang your head out of it. Close your eyes, daydream, rest, move your body. You don't need a live feed special class for this. Simply raise your arms above your head, offer a meditation, sway your hips, stand up and sit down from your seat. Roll over in your bed, bop your head, blink your eyes, imagine peace. Your body is a site of liberation. Freedom happened before the internet was created. Sleep, nap, rest." So my wish for all of you today is to listen to the trees, listen to the sounds, and rest. Find peace in that sense of stillness. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and please let me know if I can help you out with any other resources as we all find a little bit more stillness during this time. Thank you.